What's happening, folks? It's Andy from MAO Magic, and I'm here with the iDevices HomeKit outdoor switch. So they do have an inside switch, which we have looked at before, but this is the actual outdoor switch, which is great for lights. They have a few features noted here on the back, such as easy setup, serial control, no hub needed, rugged design, dual outlets, and the fact that you can access it anywhere. Now, what's really important is that this does use HomeKit. We have that Apple HomeKit logo on that bottom left-hand side, and we will use the iDevices Connect app here to also set this up. So we're going to look at the app itself, which can be used for any HomeKit devices, as well as setting up this outdoor switch, and then we're going to look at the features of HomeKit. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, and as they say on the box, it's a very easy setup, so there's not really a lot to see. It's also basically an outlet, so there's not really a ton to go over as far as the hardware is concerned. So I guess what we really need to focus on is the performance, and I was very happy with the performance of this unit. Now, it is an outdoor switch, so it is fully waterproofed. Well, not waterproof, do not submerge this, but it is rainproof, so this can go outside. You don't have to worry about the weather, snow, anything like that, and this is absolutely great for Christmas lights. Inside, you have a minor little manual that just goes over some of the features, as well as the HomeKit sticker, which you can use to scan to basically quickly add your HomeKit activation code. That code is also printed on the back of the unit itself, so if you get rid of this little manual, you still will be able to add that device to HomeKit. Inside some of the features, you talk about your home, your zones, your scenes, and your voice. Because as it is HomeKit, you can use Siri to control your lights. So you can set up different zones outside, like front yard, backyard, and say turn on the front yard lights, turn on the backyard lights, however you would like to control your lights outside or anything else that you're actually controlling this with. You do have a very heavy-duty grounded cable here, which obviously is going to be important, basically like any extension cord that you would have outside. Other than that, unit is very simple. You have that status light on the front as well as the iDevices logo. On the back, you can see here we have the HomeKit activation code, so if you do get rid of the manual that comes with it. And on the bottom, you can see we have two different outlets. Unfortunately, these cannot be controlled independently, so it's just simply on or off, and that applies to both of them. Now, this will give you enough amperage to power about 2,500 incandescent lights, and if you're using LED, a ton more. On the left-hand side of the unit, we do have a switch, so you can simply turn it on and off manually. And on the top there is a little mounting bracket. Mounting really seems to be thrown in as like an afterthought. I mean, they basically just threw in a screw in a little way to hang it off of that screw. You can't actually screw it into your wall or anything like that, mostly because it's right behind the power cord. So I guess that's also good because it kind of hides it, so you don't have like an unsightly mount somewhere, but either way, it should be fine. We're going to go ahead and set up the app now. We're going to use the iDevices Connect app. It's going to ask you for a little bit of information, such as accessing your home data, your location data, and whether or not you would like to use iCloud. Your location is going to be important because you can set triggers for when you're arriving or leaving, so when you get home, turn the Christmas lights on, or whatever other lights that you may have around. When you're first setting up, I'm going to choose that outdoor switch. I'm going to connect it to my Wi-Fi. So we just have our test network 202 for Ambies here. We're going to connect to that, and it's going to pass over my network information to that network switch. So that's all set up and good to go. Once we have connected to our network, it's going to search again for products and make sure we find the right one. Once it finds a switch on the network, it's going to start flashing with that status light on the front, and it's going to make me confirm to make sure that's the correct one. Then we're going to go ahead and add it to HomeKit by scanning that little code either on the back of the unit itself or on the back of that instruction manual. You can type it in manually, but Apple has a really nice way of just scanning that number, and it'll just pop right in, similar to the back of like a iTunes gift card. Now, once it's in there, you can name it or let it know what it's used for. There's a ton of different examples here: blow dryers, hair dryers, fans, lights, can lights, all these different reasons that you may be using your HomeKit switch. So we're going to choose Christmas lights because that seems fairly accurate. You can put it to a room, which I have several created already. I'm going to do this indoor with a Christmas tree. So we're going to set up the Christmas tree in the living room, or you can create a new room right on the spot. And that's it. You're good to go. You've assigned it to a room or a zone, and now you can simply use Siri to control your lights. So I can say, Siri, can you turn on the Christmas tree? And give it a second to think, and the Christmas tree is turned on. And it almost happens instantly. It's very fast. And this does work remotely as well, so you don't have to be there. So if you forgot to turn your Christmas light on or you didn't schedule them, you can easily do it when you're not at home. Now, as far as the basics go, that's it. It's covered. But there are a lot of advanced features that are really cool, such as the ability to schedule or set events. So if I want all the Christmas lights on outside to come on every day at 5 p.m., I can go ahead and create that schedule. So I simply choose that I want the lights on by turning the little switch there. I can choose every day of the week from the picker, and I can choose the time of 5 p.m. You can even add multiple schedules so it can come on certain times during certain days. So if I want to come on at 5 every day of the week and go off at 1, but on the weekends I want to start a little bit earlier and go off a little bit later, I can do that as well, all in the same schedule. This is really super useful for not any other HomeKit devices, but specifically for Christmas lights, this is pretty awesome. Or really anything outdoors, this would be useful. Another advanced feature that's really awesome is the energy report. You can see a full energy report by day, week, or month. You can see the average consumptions, time used, and even the estimated cost, which is really cool because you can see how much your Christmas lights are costing you. Now, if we look at the pros and cons, as far as the pros go, it doesn't require a hub, which is really nice. It's Wi-Fi connected, so it doesn't have to use Bluetooth. You don't have to be really within range of that device, just in range of your wireless network. It uses HomeKit, which everything is starting to adopt, if either this HomeKit or Nest Weave. It's got a great app, which I really like. I like being able to see all of the analytics, the energy reports, as well as controlling all other HomeKit devices and zones. It has scenes, locations, and schedules, so there's a ton of stuff you can do, set up different scenes, locations, or schedules for all your devices, and it works outdoor and is rainproof. So this is really awesome. Most other HomeKit devices are obviously indoor only, so this is one of the few that will work outdoors. As far as the pros go, we are covered, but go ahead and take a look at the cons. Mounting it seems kind of like an afterthought. It's not really a big deal, but they just threw in a little screw, which really seems unnecessary. Size-wise, it is a little large, but considering this is for outdoors and it's rainproof, that's probably okay. This is obviously will work in the snow and other accurate weather out there, so I'm going to be okay with the size. I don't need to fit this inside. That's going to need to be nice and small and look a little bit better. Unfortunately, it does not have independent controls for each of the two outlets that are on the end of this. You have to simply control them all or nothing, so both on or both off. It'd be really nice if they could be controlled independently, but unless that is not the case. And the price is a little steep. I mean, $80, which is quite a bit for an outdoor switch simply to control your lights, but you should be able to find them a little bit cheaper or using discounts during the holidays going into next year. And considering you're going to be spending $20 or $30 on an outdoor timer that may or may not actually work well, then the investment into this may be worth it. Now, if you are interested in picking one of these up for yourself, the link is in the description below, so click on that to get started. If you have any questions, please throw them up in the comments. Add MAO Magic to your Apple newsfeed and check out our website, maomagic.com. Please subscribe so I can keep videos like this coming. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.